definitely going to have somebody very special, Yaw Siki. Sololoti.
No, he's a suffer.
No, but he's still, the Sololoti is still there.
Sololoti is what?
You know he has, no, it's not, Sololoti is not there. You know that kind of, where Sarkodie can say, so like a trademark kind of thing. So yes, yeah. Yeah.
I see.
So it's like, you know, for me, I like it because he still has to put that in the gospel side, so that when he comes out, everybody knows that this is Yaw Siki, because that's what we knew him for. You get it?
I'll ask him. I'll just ask him.
Yaw Siki.
We did it.
I love it because you know, be.
One would think that you guys are twins, though, like your brothers or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi. Oh dear.
Well, remember, you're a major part of the show, and so make sure to join us online. Yes, let's get connected. Let's get acquainted with what's happening on the show. The hashtag is the AM Club, and our social media handles are MX24GH on all social media platforms, MX24GH on all social media platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is MX24GH as well. Visit MX24 app to catch up on all the fun and excitement of AM Club shows featuring engaging conversations, thrilling lives, exclusive content you don't want to miss out on.
That's 5055. Keep that in my mind. 05331511. All right. Make sure you're acquainted with us. Send your comments, your reaction, everything we're covering right here on the show, especially that of cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Because we want to hear from you. All right. What do you think? And you know anybody who is into cybersecurity? You know anybody who is in tech? I mean, bring it in, because you know sometimes people can keep their information to themselves. I understand. Maybe you want to make money off it. We get it. You know, maybe there's a solution somewhere somebody has detected, or the Holy Spirit gave it to them, and they want to, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. We all suffer with those people.
But I beg you. I mean, if you know some way, somehow, how we can curb this whole situation as to the threats that we're finding ourselves with, please be a part of this conversation and let us know what you think. We need your opinions. We need your ideas to through the show alone, all right?
Totally.
So please be a part of it. All right.
It's time for my daily dose of Vim.
All right, so it's time for us to get into DDOV. That's Daily Dose of Vim. Time to get inspired. Let's do it.
That's right. Well, we have a special motivational message for you this morning as well. This week, we're trying to keep you grounded in the thoughts that you need to be intentional and aware and be intentional about life. So today, we're going to motivate you again. We have a wonderful video for you. Take a look at this. We'll be right back. we still have not seen the actual punishment for Sammy JP. Yes, he ain't shown him mercy. So the advocacy for mercy is still ongoing on social media. We're going to be looking into that as well. But before we get into that, what that is going to be pretty shortly, let's look at what is, what something we all want, and that is success. Everybody wants it, everybody dreams of it. We all aspire to succeed and make a mark in life and push ourselves to excel enduring challenges along the way just to be successful. Charlie, when work gets tough, and I bet it will, you need that extra boost to keep pushing forward. And on those days where you need somebody to be there for you, Cowboy Coffee will be by your side. It's a rich, creamy 3-in-1 blend with a great taste and aroma that would aid kickstart your day. So whether you're just working or creating beautiful memories with friends and loved ones, Cowboy Coffee will be there with you every single moment. So no matter where you're at, as you chase out of those goals, keep Cowboy Coffee close to stay motivated and going. Remember, Cowboy Coffee is with you every single moment. Let's check what's written on X. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We're starting off with what's happened
yesterday. A banger.
Yeah.
A bang. Firecrackers on my show. Guys,
yeah.
I am currently the most privileged, blessed young lady on television. Because I get to have conversations with wonderful, incredible, progressive women who understand this journey called life. These young women, I never thought that they would dissect that issue the way they did. I knew that they were brilliant young women who are on top of issues.
Yeah.
But yesterday, they did justice to the conversation. Has the feminism conversation been misplaced? And bro, if you did not watch, repeat me that. If you did not watch,
you know,
go back on X.
We should ask you, what should
Hey,
today, if you get it, we'll give you money.
Respect yourself.
If you get it, we'll give you money.
I think it was on Thursdays. Respect yourself. Which one is this one? Which one is this one? 8 p.m. Wednesday.
Oh boy, easy.
But go on.
But we understand you. You are a woman of different colors.
Who is asking you?
One people, different colors.
Anywho, but yesterday's conversation was fire. It was fire. If you've been missing the episodes on The Dish, I think you're missing a lot, especially if you're a young lady looking to progress in life.
My question to you is, I had about 5 or 6 guys who came to me saying, we love The Dish, but would there be a day where, for any reason, one guy or 2 guys would get on The Dish?
Oh, 50 guys even, because we have a conference coming up for the women, where we're going to be including the men as well. Because when we are empowering the women, the men need to understand where we're coming from, so it does not look like it's against them. Because the fight I've always said is not against the men. Our enemies or our enemy is not the men. It is self. And whilst we're empowering ourselves, the men shouldn't look at it as a fight against them. It is growth, it is evolution, and they should grow with us. And so we are going to have that, of course. All
right.
And that open platform or that open forum, they get to tell us their mind, and they get to tell us how we should understand them as well. Because being a great woman is also understanding your partner or understanding the men in your environment. And so, yes, of course.
Okay. All right.
Honorable.
Good evening. Praise the Lord. Last year, when I was on this stage, I was here as a parliamentary candidate, but now I'm MP. Yeah, I beg, give me fans. Members.
All right. Members. I just love that. I love that.
This guy's just full of humor.
I mean, he is him.
Yeah.
He is him.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful.
What a way to just be on top of the trend.
I know, right?
Simply
you
put.
just did.
Yeah.
So silly.
You still spoke about Sammy Jefi.
I did.
Is there anything that came out from the summoning? I don't think anything
Not
has come up yet.
Not
All right.
yet.
Okay.
But I have seen Tilapia do his own thing.
Who's Tilapia?
The guy who does the animations for TV3.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Who said she was taking and not discipline. Sammy JP. I've also seen a lot of people throw their support behind him in advice, and I love the posture. Again, I think the persons whose post I loved the most will be Sam George, Jetta. He talked about how we make mistakes, learn and grow, and how Sammy JP should keep his head about, because people are calling for his head. And it's very imperative for him as an individual, even though maybe his actions were not the best, to keep his head above the waters, to know that these are all the tests that he has to go through as an individual to be a better young man. Because you know Sammy JP is pretty young. And so some of these things have to happen to him to be a better version of himself. And so I saw how he skewed the message to empower the young man. And I thought it was really beautiful. Nobody's coming here to act, out of character, be, nonchalant about it. Everybody's, advising, constructively. And I love it. I think after this, Sammy JP knows what to do. I think he's, like I said, I keep saying, he's a fine young man, has a lot of, potential. He has a lot of things he has to tap in, potential he needs to tap in. He's got a great future ahead of him. Some of these mistakes shouldn't repeat themselves.
I think some other posts, and Sam George also has come under fire with whatever he did say concerning, Sammy JP.
Oh, I'm surprised.
A lot of people are of the fact that,
of the view.
That, he did with sort as here. Same government, so most definitely.
I'm going to be bashing.
It's not something you go bash about.
No, I think
this year the McBanners own too as well.
Oh, I have not seen it. The McBanners own.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
Oh, that one was like, Sammy, they my back. Let me hold. Let me hold the fort for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you say, Agrada, setting it up. I've heard that narrative as well.
I think she's also come out to say something. I think I saw a video, but I just didn't feel like even playing it in the first
she said
place.
a couple of things. She talked about the dollars being $800. She talked about, yes.
The dollars being what?
$800.
Okay.
$800 per the man. No, I think she said that she was just asking for help or something like that. She said a couple of things. It was really in defense of Sammy JP. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at it. At least say.
Oh, yeah. Francis Xavier Sosu.
This I didn't quite like. Yeah, this I didn't quite like.
It is well. You committed no crime. The haters are hurt. They can't believe that God can lift and bless you such that you can become a blessing unto others. Leave them. Let them do their worst. We got you. God has your back. Stay focused and blessed.
I didn't quite like this. I like this.
That's why it has 530 comments underneath. Oh, Bongo. Can I skip? Honestly, I don't think it's about haters. Well-meaning Ghanaians and even staunch NDC supporters have spoken against it. While Sammy JP should be pardoned, I do not think everybody speaking against it is necessarily a hater.
Yeah, nobody hates him. Well, anyway, there might be, but I don't think... I think...
It's not about hate.
No.
It's not about hate. And I agree with Bongo for the very first time. Yes. It's not about hate.
No,
it's really not about hate.
Nobody actually... It's what he did right.
It's just that just few days before this happened, there was a code of conduct. Well, I've not been privileged enough to get the code of conduct itself. I've not looked into it itself, what it entails or whatever it is.
You should.
I should, yes, and that's bad on my part. I apologize for that. But see, it's more like you get same way Honorable Julius did say. It's more like you're in a boarding house. You get to a school. There are rules and regulations. They give it to you. Even at your workplace, when you are getting your letter of what? Is it employment? I mean, there are rules to it. Do this. Don't do this. This is expected of you. Don't do this. If you're caught doing this, this is what happened to you and all that. So it's in the best place of government officials having a code of conduct. And so if this was launched a few days ago and we're seeing this happen, it's not just about hating, it's about people calling it out.
The other argument is that in the code of conduct, you don't see specifically
don't throw money or don't give somebody money.
But there was like, you know, and I would, for lack of a better expression, I'd say a vague comment saying that their conduct in public, you know, in the public space should be ethically right. Like, you know, they should conduct themselves properly out here. And that also is part of conducting yourself properly. A government official in a different country would have been removed. How do you have access to so much funds? You know, in a different, someone would say a more serious country that is more serious, more.
That's a Ghana,
I read it, and so I'm just repeating. I'm sorry. In a country that is very big on some of these things, corruption and all of that, they would, you know, punitive measures are very, very high. And so I'm just saying that when people are criticizing something, and it is for your own good that they are criticizing, for you not to repeat it. It's wrong on all you know, faces for council to actually make this post.
And that's why he's coming under...
Personally,
he's
I didn't quite like this one,
yeah,
but anyway.
He's really coming under fire. Kevin Ashon says, Honorable, what has God got to do with this? The person he gave the money to is the problem. Why give money to a popular scammer? Well, as for that one, we've not... Has Agrada been caught for scamming people before?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. When there are lots of people on the streets who are starving, and this is the comparison that I really don't get, because in as much as she's Agrada, whatever she does with her money, nobody really cares. Or no ni sika, the opposite the yen and phobia. So what you say? So somebody will say, oh no, when ni sika, the opposite the yen
Yeah. We never mention how can I answer you.
Debut. Say or no so say. The comparison here is that why give the money to a popular scammer whilst people are, you know?
And you also we sika some physical no open no dey so person dey ma
Debut enye Sami
because he's referring to Sami Jemfi.
And I me person me patch and say or say that Agrada is the problem.
Yes, but then he's ended there and he says why give money to a popular scammer?
Exactly.
When there are other people that you can help with that money, I'm trying to break it down. When there are other people that you can help with that money who are really in need.
Yes.
So he's now referring back to Sami Jemfi that he could have used that money to help people on the streets instead of giving it to Agrada.
And I'm also looking at it on a different side.
Okay.
Where Agrada too is not begging on the streets.
But
she's not begging on the streets.
Exactly.
Oh, no, only a needy person.
Exactly.
So what you say?
So what's the point?
Ajay,
you have confused me.
Oh my God.
You have confused me.
Oh, somebody says, when it comes to the trends, are they fool you people? Because you people they give bad boosts. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll scrutinize it. We'll give you all the angles that you need. Say to Zibli. You see, you know, sometimes how you're thinking. Is how somebody else is thinking. How I'm thinking is how somebody else is thinking.
Okay.
So yeah, we're giving.
You're thinking for someone.
Yes, I'm thinking for someone as we speak.
Zibli
says, I doubt your legal status. No crime committed. What about the currency in question?
Yeah. Whew. He has to be very careful. These people.
S. King, very good friend, says, do I think Sami Jemfi has learned a lesson? Yes. Do I want him removed from his position for what happened? Hell no. Do I still love NDC? Yes. Will I vote MPP? No.
Hey, my boss. Really? My boss.
So, Cigar Official says lawyer Martin Pebu has dismissed calls for an investigation into the incident involving Sami Jemfi allegedly giving money to Agrada, describing the uproar as an overreaction.
Martin Pebu.
According to him, the controversy is being exaggerated for partisan reasons, aimed at drawing false equivalence between Sami Jemfi's actions and those of Cecilia Dapa. Lawyer Martin Pebu, is Pebu right?
Yes.
Yeah. Criticized those questioning the source of Sami Jemfi's funds, arguing that his role as the National Communications Director of the NDC is a legitimate position that could earn him more than many others. He emphasized that attention should be directed towards resolving the Cecilia Dapa case, which he considers the real issue at hand.
Lawyer Martin Pebu. You're joking.
You want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
Okay.
Investigation grad I take from Sami Jenfi qualifies for an investigation, then I'm sure by the time this administration is done, we'll have over 1,000 investigations. I think, look, this is a storm in a teacup. We are making a mountain out of a molehill. There's no need. There's no need. Look, I just see straight out a partisan agenda just to equalize with Sicily Adapa. Anybody who wants to find money, let's go back and solve the Sicily Adapa matter. That is what we should be solving, not this one. Look, this is Sami Jenfi who pays fees for his classmates, was running businesses, etc. I think that the way people are running him down, that he has not even worked, people forget that being a national communications officer of the biggest opposition party, it's a post. Look, Sami Jenfi would even earn more than a lot of us, right? So this thing, as I said, to be honest with you, I feel very insulted by certain pronouncements from some of the opposition elements. It's as if we are kids, we don't know anything. Oh, let's fund it. Me, I'm not funding this thing. I don't see anything wrong. I don't think President Mahama should waste his time doing the investigations. It's the Sicily Adapa one that we have to investigate. Let's be very frank. Because if for that money that they took from Sami Jenfi and we are going to have an investigation, then there will be 1,001. You've not even finished getting to the bottom of the Sicily Adapa matter. You are saying we should divert resources, attention, to go and investigate money that doesn't look like beyond the 3,000.
But I was asking about the specific lesson for public officials. And you say there's nothing there to be learned at all?
No, as for secret filming, well, so we say there's something that once it has happened, he should be careful. Another public officer should be careful that, listen, because of the way the opposition were badly beaten in the elections, they are looking to clutch at even straw. So naturally, Sami Jenfi and his people should be careful. And me saying it, I'm the same person that when the Bank of Ghana matter came, I spoke for Addison. When Gift Owari's matter came, I even said I'll defend her if the NIB keep her beyond 48 hours, right? Look at asset declaration. I said President Mahama couldn't give people extra time to file, etc. You can name them. I've spoken so far more than 6 issues. Things that I spoke went against President Mahama. Yet I supported President Mahama in the 2024 elections. What I'm saying is that this Sami Jenfi matter, no, this one, I can't go with this opposition thing. And I also hear, let's make this point. Yes, there are a few of the aggrieved NDC members who said, yes, they sought help, they didn't get help, and the money is being given to Agrada. Yeah, some of these things happen. Sami Jenfi naturally cannot give everybody help in the NDC. So I ask them to be patient. They should be patient because the way this thing is being funded, it's being funded just to get Sami Jenfi because of what he did to the opposition, that's MPP. That's the way I see it. And I cannot be a part of that. Right. I can't.
Okay. All right.
You are saying that was lawyer Martin People. I can't believe it, man.
Oh, but why? You know, see him?
No, I can't believe it, Shirley. Sometimes some AI.
AI?
So let me tell you something, right?
That was an interview.
No, let me tell you something. Okay.
On TV3.
No, let me tell you something. So it turns out to be that his accusations of it being a partisan uproar, he contradicted himself like twice in that submission. Number two, what we are dealing with as Sicily Adapa case is exactly what we're dealing with as Sami Jenfi case. Now, this is why. If a government official is in possession of a certain amount of money that is beyond his income, even in the law, I think yesterday I was citing some part of the constitution or the law yesterday in our conversation. I can't remember what I was talking about, but then it's very important to note that it is not even the individual anymore. It is generally that government officials are not supposed to be in possession of a certain amount of money, in this case, dollars. Do you understand? Because we have had different, we've had different conversations, right, where we have actually arrested people. In fact, For instance, let me give you an example. When you're going through the borders of Ghana, like you're leaving the airport, there's a certain amount of money. If you're holding, you cannot leave the airport with it. You have to declare it and show proof of how it came to you before they if had $1, you timid the serial number, check it, baby, if you buy. You understand? So there are certain amount of monies you're not allowed to have to be in possession of it. And that's exactly what, because we don't evidently have we don't have evidence that she stole that money. The conversation is, why does she have that amount of money? It's not that we think that she's stealing, or we know she's stealing, or we have evidence that she's going to steal the money anyway. It is that she has that amount of money. The problem is the amount of money. So when in defending our darling Sammy Jemfi, we need to be very measured. And we can be very constructive and still defend him. Like I said, when I read Sam George's post, I saw exactly what he was doing. He said, listen, we make mistakes, we learn, and we grow. You know, every single person will make mistakes, that make new mistakes, repeat old mistakes, and it's life, it's a cycle of life. But don't come and sit here and tell me that, oh, this is different from this, so I attack this one and leave this one. No, that's not what we're coming to do with this government. And this government has assured us, as Ghanaians, that we're going to get accountability every single time. And he, Sammy Jemfi, was on top of that conversation.
On the other side of having a certain amount of money, we don't know how much he had, do we? And if that case, because I saw another picture with packs of dollars, which was like huge sums, which people were using to perpetrate that was what was in his car. We don't have evidence towards that. What we saw is $800. Others almost kind you say, then you.
Who kind of who say $800?
I say, Eja, Ade, Obi ne can say $800. You who ye now or kind you know.
See, can no also share when him $800. And listen, me, I just want this country to work.
No, I'm picking it from what the statement you made with reference to the amount of money. Because right now we don't really know how much he had. Whether it surpasses what he's gaining, because nobody even knows how much he's gaining in the first place. Anyway, let's move away from that.
Media.
Let's move away from that.
Some people have been very reasonable in addressing this issue, and I think I'm going to stay with those people. There is
from $80 million to $500.
Hey,
that's drastic.
Hey, me in this life, I fear God. I fear, I fear God, and then I fear Katie Japo. Not in the same measure as I fear God, but I fear him. Because $18 million, I mean?
$80 million.
To $500.
Which one of his teammates actually
How do you say it?
Dollars.
I see Paul Grave watching down in the mix.
Which I'm hearing one of his members actually even...
Nasa Paul Grave, but no, $500.
Evidence Donker says this is how Kennedy Ejapon and his team celebrated the news of the judgment in the defamation lawsuit filed by Adas. Ken was in Kumasi earlier today for the 1-week observation of the late Asante Mamponghene. Okay. Yeah. Glory to the Lord. Okay. I think there's another video.
Yes.
Maybe we have to give a last 5,000.
Hey, that's not when you say.
Oh, okay. This is not coming in, but to see whether we could get.
They're showing the lawyers. You want to look at that? Lawyers. Yeah.
Oh, Kennedy Japan moved. Okay, so the lawyers Kennedy Japan used against Anas. Great. This one it looks like a suit guy. You know suit,
no,
right?
this one, he wasn't in suit.
Yeah, but he looks
He looks like, oh, he's not in a suit.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for what's trending on X this morning right here on the AM Club. Yes, time for us to switch it up. Now, Augustine is on standby. He would be getting into some in-depth stories, and I'm sure these are definitely part of it. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
It's day 2 of a brand new week, Tuesday the 13th of May 2025. Good morning and welcome to the morning news here on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Adam Kobe-Toussaint. It is time for us to recap what's been happening here in Ghana over the past 24 hours. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. There's a way when our colleagues, I would say colleagues, yeah, you know colleagues, so our senior, let me put it senior colleagues on City.
Those are seniors.
Yes, these are seniors.
Those are seniors.
Heavy seniors. Right. So let me just
Those
put
are
it back.
seniors.
Right.
Heavy seniors.
Yeah.
There's a way when they are saluting themselves is like teacher class. Teacher
Good morning,
class.
Good morning.
Oh, it's quite
always,
funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's really funny, but it's interesting because sometimes Caleb would say, "Good morning, Bernard," and they would say, "Good morning."
Right.
But it's fine. Anyway, I'm sure what we did in the trends is
Yeah, a couple of it.
80 million. Sami Jefi Susu.
Yeah.
Hey, have they?
No. but
Why are you there?
But wait, is it a question I think you're asking? His meeting with Julius
Yes.
Lebra? No. They actually met, but what the details of the conversation we still do not know yet.
It's behind closed
It
doors.
was behind closed.
It was in camera.
This I wasn't in camera.
No, it's so.
That thing confuses me.
Please let's do some classes here, okay? Because I want to disgrace myself. Let's not all go and disgrace ourselves.
Okay.
So I always thought, and I thought that's what my lecturer told me.
Right.
That's when they say a conversation was had in camera, it means that it was live. And you know, somewhere last year, a couple of years ago, it became necessary for some of the hearings and proceedings be seen live. Yeah. So I thought that was in camera. I remember in my lecture class that we're talking about in camera. Why I thought that it means that publicly it's brought out. How I think that happened, I know my lecturer was very disappointed when I said that on some radio be like that. So in camera means that behind
the scene.
Closed doors.
Right.
In camera, like we're going to have this conversation in camera, means that it's going to be behind closed doors. Obiehu.
Wow.
I guess we are picking it from the name.
The literal meaning of
in
it.
camera. I mean, it's going to be in camera. So, Eja.
Why are they pass back at you? Because in camera, when it comes to mind, you would know that we're having this conversation in camera.
Yeah.
That means the camera go there. Everybody will not say this be hopping. Sena is behind closed doors. Please, this is why this show is very important, because we get to inform and educate at the end of the day. And it's good when somebody goes and mention it and say, "Oh no, it was MX24. We watched it and watched the AM Club, and they were talking about this. This is it. Somebody would definitely reference this and use this against somebody who said in camera somewhere.
Yeah. So it's a term used in the political and legal world. So maybe when you go and research it, you might not get the exact meaning because in camera means in camera.
In camera.
But it's a term used in that space. Say, GPT on my updated, they are fine. But in their terms, because I was actually hosting some legal people, and me. I have to use my mouth
Can you
to
imagine
take that thing.
how it feels?
That is how.
So did they watch you in a different way?
Watch me. They will not watch you. They will tell you.
Yeah, told you. Yeah.
Oh.
So make
Yeah, that's
sure
straight.
I use Vim to chest it. I'm like, but me, I'm not a legal person. I'm just a journalist. Like, no, you're not just a journalist. You're an informer. You're the fourth arm of government. Let me see where to move.
Let's continue. So yeah, Julius Debra and then Sammy Jenfi, they actually met around 11 a.m. yesterday. We do not know. We are picking the sense that because the president is not in the country, they are waiting for the president to return. Then probably they would have that conversation with the president before coming to us to tell us the way forward. But we don't know yet. But the minority is biting hard into it and is calling for his suspension. Others are calling for his resignation. Others are calling for his dismissal. Why? Because they think he's broken. Well, according to them, he's broken some, provisions in the code of conduct as well as some ethical standards with regards to the office he's holding, and are calling for his resignation. Yesterday we saw the Member of Parliament for Wale Wale and a member of the Committee of Finance hold a press conference where he outlined that he expects that Sammy Jenfi should be dismissed from office, given the conversation that has followed since Sunday after the circulation of the viral videos. So yeah, we are hoping to see what happens with Sammy Jenfi, but also Kennedy Ohine Japan, $500 from $18 million to $500. It's shocking.
I mean, I don't even know how they made that calculation.
$500. I mean, I was listening to yesterday. I was like, wait, were they trying to write 5,000 and probably made it 500? Because $18 million to $500. I mean, that's
drastic.
That's
huge.
That's drastic.
Very huge. But he's celebrating. But Tiger IPI investigative journalist Anas Anas, well, he's put out a statement saying, like, you know what, you may have won today, but there's still he's still going to pursue his investigative journalism course.
Yeah. And he mentioned that it wasn't about the money, it was about people just behaving nicely towards him as a person, and also generally justice, really, if you want to put it that way. So, again, we don't need the money. Yeah, we don't need the money.
But, hey, $80 million.
$80 million, I can let me change the story,
I know.
And next year, I can bring 2 major releases, because the project would have been properly funded.
Solid.
You people.
But yeah, that's what's trending. But also, before I get into the stories, the Student Loan Trust Fund is saying that it's going to disburse or reimburse first-year students with their fees beginning June 1, 2025. Ooh. That means the rollout of the no academic fee policies thing is going to start in June 2021. 2025, June 1st, 2025. Yeah. So in coming weeks, first-year students should begin to receive some alerts. Now, I want to go back to level 100.
Now, NSS phones as well.
This is starting in August. Yes.
Leave me alone.
Cho boy.
Can't imagine.
Cho boy. And so yesterday we had the NSS boss in a press conference saying that, you know what, well, preparations are underway. Initially, right, so some procurements have been made in terms of the uniforms they'll be wearing, the boots they'll be wearing, and then the military is also having its talks as to the arrangements, the 2-month period.
They didn't even have anyone but the military.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey, imagine me military.
I mean, military scrutiny. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I wish you people the best. I wish you the best. I really wish you the best. Because
on that note,
please get into your story.
Let's get into our stories for this morning and start off with the minority, as it is demanding tough actions from President John Dramani Mahama against the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Jenfi. Now, he was caught on camera doling out several notes of dollars to self-styled evangelist Patricia Kranting, popularly known as Nana Agrada. Now, the incident has received widespread condemnation, with Sammy Gyamfi apologizing for his actions. As of yesterday, we know he had a meeting with the Chief of Staff, Julius Stebra. Now, addressing journalists in Parliament, member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Kabiru Tia Mahama, and the Member of Parliament for the Walubalo constituency, described Sammy Gyamfi's conduct as financial recklessness and a shameful arrogance. He's calling for his dismissal.
Whatsoever for keeping stacks of dollars, because foreign exchange businesses and international payment are regulated under Section 16 and Section 15, which provides that, and I quote, each payment in foreign currency to or from Ghana between resident and non-resident or between non-residents shall be made through a bank. The action of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi in keeping, spending, and circulating foreign currency is also an offense under Section 26 of the currency as well. We expect the GRA to demonstrate commitment towards curtailing the continuous evasion of gift tax, which has remained unaccounted in their books.
The minority group, among others, called for the immediate suspension or dismissal of the Ghana Gold Board CEO.
This has also answered the kind of sanction that we expect of the president. Immediate suspension and further investigation then at the least, or the termination of the acting position, because clearly you don't need a lawyer to tell you that Mr. Sammy Gyamfi has violated some laws. So we need a full-scale investigation into the source of the dollar bundle display in that viral video. We expect an apology from the president to the good people of Ghana for the insult this act represents to those suffering.
And that was the Member of Parliament for the Walawale constituency calling for the resignation and termination of contract of the CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi. But what we know as at this morning is that so far there's not been response from the Chief of Staff with regards to the meeting held between Sammy Gyamfi, like I said earlier. But we hope that in coming hours, hopefully today or later in the week, we would receive some answers. And as always, we'll be your eyes and ears and bring you updates with regards to that. But now let's stay in the minority caucus. As the minority in Parliament says, Ghana was left without a president, a vice president, or a speaker of Parliament on May 12, 2025. And no one was sworn in to act in their absence. Now, they call it a constitutional crisis. In a statement signed by legal counsel John Darko, the minority accused the Mahama administration of breaching Article 60 of the 1992 Constitution. The Speaker, according to them, the Speaker should have been sworn in by the Chief Justice in such cases, but the Speaker left Ghana on May 8, 2025. The Vice President had earlier traveled for medical care, yet the President also traveled without triggering any constitutional processes to hand over power. Now, they're accusing the President and his team of acting with impunity, emboldened by their attacks on the judiciary. Now, they put out a statement. Let's walk you through the details of the statement by the minority. The unconstitutional absence of the President from the country dated the 12th of May 2025. Today, 12th May 2025, we have become aware of the conspicuous and alarming absence of the President, his Vice President, and the Speaker of Parliament from the Republic, all at the same time without the constitutionally mandated swearing in of an acting President. This represents a clear and egregious violation of Article 60 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. The constitutional provisions on presidential succession are explicit. Whenever both the President and the Vice President are absent from the country, the Speaker of Parliament must be sworn in to act as President. This interpretation has been affirmed by Supreme Court in the landmark case of Asare versus the Attorney General. The court held that at no point should the nation be left without a constitutionally designated acting head of state. In the absence of both the President and the Vice President, the Speaker must assume that role. It is a matter of public record that the Speaker of Parliament departed the jurisdiction on 8th May 2025. The President, fully aware of this fact and also aware that his Vice President had traveled earlier to seek medical attention abroad, nonetheless proceeded to leave the country without taking steps to ensure that, that the Chief Justice administered the oath to the Speaker to act as President as mandated by the Constitution. Their conduct is not only unconstitutional, it is deliberate and calculated. This administration has consequently threatened to the Constitution as an inconvenience rather than a binding framework. They are emboldened to flout the Supreme Court of the land because they believe they have succeeded in weakening the judiciary. Their continued attacks on the judiciary and the Chief Justice, both overt and covert, have created a climate that undermines judicial independence and threatens the rule of law. It is this very erosion of institutional checks that enables such brazen violations to go unchecked. The precedent set in Asare versus Attorney General has not been overturned. Thus, the President's actions and those of his advisors constitute nothing short of a willful and wanton disregard for the Constitution of Ghana. This is one of the clearest demonstrations yet of this administration's habitual violations of the supreme law of the land. The supremacy of the Constitution derives not from its physical form, but from our collective commitment to uphold it. As President Barack Obama noted on the 10th of January 2017, to continue with a quote from Barack Obama, our Constitution is a remarkable, beautiful gift, but it's really just a piece of parchment. It has no power on its own. We, the people, give it power with our participation and the choices we make, whether or not we stand for our freedoms, whether or not we respect and enforce the rule of law. These words ring true for us as Ghanaians. Our Constitution, though not without its imperfection, remains the cornerstone of our democracy. It is only through strict adherence to its provisions and selective obedience that we confer upon it the reverence it deserves. Today, those entrusted with the sacred responsibility of safeguarding our Constitution have failed in their duty. They have chosen to undermine its authority, threatening the democratic gains we have struggled to build. Let them be reminded, Ghana is still a fragile democracy. The progress of our democratic journey is neither guaranteed nor irreversible. As the minority caucus and in our role as vigilant custodians of the Constitution, we shall continue to expose and resist such violations. We will hold the President and the Vice accountable to their oath of office, which demands fidelity to the Constitution. Where necessary, we shall invoke the relevant provisions of the law to ensure that constitutional breaches do not go unpunished, and it was signed by John Darko Esquire, legal counsel to the minority caucus. There you have it. They are calling the President's Act an act of unconstitutionality, given the fact that himself, the Vice President, and the Speaker of Parliament are not in the country. We know they are attending to medical, the Vice President is attending to medical, response, while the President is on a trip abroad. We know he's in Burkina Faso, and then the Speaker of Parliament is also not in the country. But the development of this conversation, we would bring you updates as and when it happens. Now let's turn our focus to some legal matters, as the Supreme Court in Essex County, New Jersey, has significantly reduced the defamation suit against former Assistant Central Member of Parliament Kennedy Ohineye-Agyapong from $18 million to just $500. The lawsuit, initially filed on May 17, 2022, was brought by renowned investigative journalist Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Now, it accused Kennedy Ohineye-Agyapong and the Ghanaian media personality Frederick Asamoah of making defamatory statements during an episode of the Daddy Fred Show, an online platform popular among Ghanaian diaspora in the United States. Now, during the program, Agyapong allegedly made a series of false and damaging claims against Anas, including calling him a criminal, a thief, and alleging that he was involved in the murder of journalist Ahmed Swale. Now, a few weeks ago, a U.S. jury found Kennedy Ohineye-Agyapong liable for malicious defamation of Anas and awarded him an $18 million charge in damages. However, Agyapong subsequently filed a motion for a reduction, requesting that the court reduces the amount, arguing that the jury's award was excessive. Now, in a decision delivered yesterday, May 12, 2025, the trial judge granted Agyapong's request and revised the damages down to $500. The judge maintained that while Agyapong did indeed defame Anas, the financial penalty awarded by the jury was unreasonably high. Reacting to the ruling, Anas expressed his disappointment over the reduced award, but reiterated that this pursuit of the case was not motivated by financial gains. He put out a statement. Let's walk you through the details of the statement. Notice to cease and desist defamatory and libelous statements regarding Mr. Edward Amwa. Now we act and write as lawyers for and on behalf of our client, Edward Amwa, also known by the stage name Kofi Mole. Okay, so, so this is not the statement. This is not a statement. Unfortunately, we would get you that statement from Tiger IPI, where Anas Aremia Anas recounted what this means to him. He says that the pursuit for justice was not financially motivated. However, it was just to get justice as to the defamatory claims made by Kennedy Ohene Japon. But what we know as of this morning is that the $18 million charge in damages has been slashed to $500, and we will be bringing you updates with regards to that as well. But Asante Hene Otumfuo II has noted that recent mediation efforts in the Boko conflict have led to a period of relative calm in the area. Now, leading the peace talks between the feuding Kusasi and Mamprisi factions, the Asante Hene met with representatives from both sides between April 28 and April 30, 2025, before the discussions were temporarily suspended. Now, speaking during a meeting with the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohuno, at the Menchia Palace yesterday, Otumfuo indicated that the mediation process would resume soon. Now let's turn our focus to education, as under the no-fee stress policy, Students' Loan Trust Fund has announced that it will begin reimbursing the academic user fee in June 2025 for first-year students enrolled in accredited diploma and degree programs at public tertiary institutions for the 2024-2025 academic year. According to a release signed by the Students' Loan Trust Fund Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Sajida Shaiza, the reimbursement set to begin next month are in line with policy directives from the Ministry of Education. They also reflect President John Dramani Mahama's commitment to investing in Ghana's human capital and securing brighter future for the nation's youth. Now, eligible first-year students have been directed to submit their applications through the no-fee stress application portal. To put out a statement, let's walk you through the details of that statement as well. No-fee stress reimbursements, in a significant step towards alleviating financial hardships faced by first-year students, the Students' Loan Trust Fund is set to reimburse academic user fees for first-year students pursuing accredited diploma or degree programs in public tertiary institutions for the 2024-2025 academic year under the no-fee stress policy. These reimbursements, starting next month, are in conformity with policy directives from the Ministry of Education and underline the John Dramani Mahama government's commitment to investing in Ghana's human capital and ensuring a brighter future for its youth. To benefit from this initiative, eligible first-year students are encouraged to submit their applications via the no-fee stress application portal as stated, and applications will be validated against admission data from associated public tertiary institutions. We urge all first-year students to apply promptly to secure their reimbursements. And for more information, you can contact the details provided or email at info@studentsloantrustfund.gov.gh or visit the website www.sltf.gov.gh. The Ghana Police Service in the Ashanti region have commenced investigation following the arrest of a 25-year-old man, Yusuf Muhammad, for possessing over 200 rounds of assorted ammunition. Now, the suspect, Yusuf Muhammad, who was on board an Accra-bound bus from Kumasi direction, was arrested on May 8, 2025 at the Asankra police barrier when the backpack containing the ammunition and other items fell from the bus. Now, police found 20 empty CZ magazines, an empty G3 magazine, 2 G3 magazines loaded with 8 rounds of ammunition each, 1 round of BB ammunition, and 35 rounds of CZ ammunition. Other items included 47 rounds of AK-47 ammunition, 97 rounds of 6.3 ammunition, 16 rounds of red-headed G3 ammunition, a quantity of dried leaf substances believed to be Indian hemp, a bulletproof vest, 2 black jackets, a green jacket, and a crash helmet. A further search also revealed a black pullover, a green pullover, 2 smocks with talismans embedded in them, 2 pairs of military trousers and boots. Now, addressing journalists on the matter, the Deputy Ashanti South Regional Police Commander ACP Cephas Arthur said the suspect is being interrogated to enable police unravel more information. And there you have on your screens some of the retrieved or some of the taken items, some of the things that were found in the possession of Yusuf Mohammed, the individual arrested. There you see some talismans, some ammunitions, a green pullover, like said, some bulletproof vests, some boots, different types of ammunitions, a CZ magazine, AK-47, a red-headed ammunition. There you have it. The police says it's begun its investigations into it. We know that this is part of a broader effort by the government. Over the past, in this particular year, we've seen a lot of crackdowns on the possession of illegal drugs. We've seen that of ammunitions as well, especially in the build-up to the 2024 general elections. There was that conversation. And now we are seeing the sort of resurgence of this particular incident. But the police says is keeping a keen eye, especially on our borders, to avert this from happening. Well, on that note, that's how we draw the curtains on this morning's news here on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Adam Kobiti Saint. Well, for more news and updates, remember where to find us. It's mx24online.com or follow us on all social media platforms, mx24gh and mx24 news on Instagram. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Augustine, thank you so much for coming in with in-depth stories right here on the show. And time for us to take a quick turn, and then we get into sports. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Time for us to focus our attention on some sports updates right here on the AM Club. But it's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends, family, loved ones, whoever it is. All you have to do is just share your code. And now guess, this is it. If they get to use your code, all right, for any transaction possible, you earn a 4% wager. Okay, it doesn't matter if you share your code and this person wins or loses, you earn automatically a 4% wager. So what are you waiting for? Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer, exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. Now to our first story. Ghana's Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations campaign ended with a 5-4 penalty loss to Egypt in a tense quarterfinal match. The Black Satellites, who had started the match with defensive issues, managed to force extra time to try and secure a spot in the semi-finals. However, they were denied a spot in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup after a red card in the 107th minute affected their chances. Egypt managed to convert all 5 of their spot kicks, securing a narrow victory for the Black Satellites, ending their hopes of advancing to the semi-finals. Be the new coach of Brazil's national team, according to the Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF. Real Madrid has not confirmed Ancelotti's departure from the club, but the CBF announced that he will leave after the final game of the league season against Real Sociedad. Ancelotti will be Brazil's first foreign coach and will receive a salary of around £177,500. I beg your pardon, that's euros. That's equivalent to $197,000 per week. More than double what his predecessors earned. He will be in line for a €5 million per bonus if he leads Brazil to their 6th World Cup triumph in 2026. Real Madrid are also close to agreeing a deal with Xabi Alonso to take over from Ancelotti, who has won 3 Champions Leagues and 2 La Liga titles in 2 spells. The CBF credited Real Madrid and businessman Diego Fernandez for helping broker the deal, expressing gratitude to Real Madrid and Perez for their cooperation. Now, away from that, we get into some basketball now. Jay led the New York Knicks to a 121-113 victory in Game 4, pushing the defending champions to the brink of elimination. The Knicks need one more victory to reach the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, while the Celtics need to match the biggest comeback in NBA history to extend their title reign. you know, making sure they do what they do best with regards to this one. Well, that wraps it up for sports updates right here on the AM Club. Don't forget that you get rewarded as the biggest sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you earn a 4% wager. 4% wager. It doesn't matter if they are winning or losing. All it matters is that you share your code, they use it, and you win a 4% wager. So keep betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer, exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. But do well to visit the MX24 app. Download, catch up with all the fun and excitement of this particular shows, including featuring engaging conversations, thrilling live segments, and exclusive content you cannot afford to miss.
Catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports and business insight on mx24online.com. It's now time for entertainment and showbiz right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24, fun, fearless, and factual.
Morning to you all. You're welcome to Entertainment News segments right here on the AM Club Coffee Daily. My name is Daphne Flashley, and as usual, you know how I do it. I bring you everything that's trending in GH, in Africa, and beyond. Let's quickly get into it. I'm in the mood to sue people.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sue.
You sue who?
Sue, let's go.
Since everybody is suing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so
in the
you
mood
want to sue?
Yeah, but no, but I don't know. No one wants to step on my toes lately.
I've stepped on your toes. Go and sue me.
No, what did you do?
I'll come and step on your toes.
No, I need something, like I need to sue someone. Defamation, abuse.
Gabby has donated himself for you to sue.
Right.
Yes. So
right.
So
what would I sue him for?
Let your lawyers.
Defamation for calling me sweat.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
not my name. How dare you? You see, oh my God. The message I just got there, it's okay.
Heck, I get into your stories. Let's move on our screens.
No, because this man is suing. It's like, it's his hobby. No, somebody is suing. It's his hobby. They say he has got to say that Kofi Mole smokes, and Kofi Mole's management say he doesn't smoke, so they are suing him. So Ghanaian rapper Kofi Mole has issued a cease and desist notice in response to a defamatory claim circulating online accusing him of drug abuse and related health issues. His legal team assessed that the allegations spread through a misinterpreted TikTok interview are baseless and intended to tarnish his reputation, demanding immediate retraction, a public apology, and cessation of further publications from Bongo Ideas. The team warns of pursuing legal remedies if demands aren't met, highlighting Kofi Mole's law-abiding and dedicated artistry. So let's take a look at what the team is saying. The team is saying notice to cease and desist defamatory and libellous statements in regarding Mr. Edward Amwa. We act and while as lawyers for and on behalf of our client Edward Amwa, also known by the stage name Kofi Mole, whose instruction we hold. Our client is a distinguished Ghanaian musician, father, and philanthropist, widely recognized for his artistic contributions and personal integrity. He is law-abiding citizen with a reputation carefully built over years of consistent public engagement and service. On or about May 7, 2025, an interview featuring our client was conducted by Mr. Elikem Idem, an associate of KSS Media, and disseminated via Mr. Idem's TikTok account in furtherance of promotional activities for our client's latest musical project. Following the publication of his interview, he have extracted portions of the footage and have proceeded to publish, circulate, and amplify false, malicious, and defamatory allegations against our client. The offending publications have falsely I can't see that, but has falsely said that our client use and abuse of legal narcotic substances as well as unspecified drug-related health complications, thereby casting aspersions on his character, professionalism, and personal well-being. These statements are wholly untrue, baseless, and without lawful jurisdiction, without lawful justification, and were made with a clear intent to injure the reputation of our client and expose him to public ridicule, contempt, and disrepute. As a result of this defamatory publication, our client has suffered and continues to suffer substantial emotional distress, loss of business opportunities, and the reputation and reputational harm within and beyond Ghana. According, we are instructed to demand as follows: that you immediately cease and desist from making, publishing, sharing, or circulating any further false or defamatory statement concerning our client. That you cause the retraction of all offending content in full and in the same manner and following platforms through which it was originally disseminated. That you issue a formal public apology to our clients via the same platform to be published once weekly for a period of 8 consecutive weeks, beginning within 7 days of the date of this notice. Be advised that we have our clients' firm instructions to exhaust all available legal remedies. So I think Bongo Ideas is one of the people because he actually mentioned some names: Kojo Sheldon, TV3 Ghana, and it's actually there. People are angry. People are saying you should go for it. I don't even know why people are angry. Someone was like, yeah, you make people hate you. What is that? If they say you smoke and you don't smoke, let it be.
What happens to them, they let it be. Right.
I know, right?
When it gets to their turn, they let it be.
I know.
It's one thing to be going through a phase in your life. And I was just telling someone the other day that the most painful thing is when you are down and you're being hit on the ground. It's the most painful thing. You see, already you are broken. Then they are hitting you on the ground. It's probably the most painful thing in this world. Kofi Mole, based on some of the conversations that even came up, insinuated that he was going through some emotional stress and all of that. And so for me, these allegations or these accusations insinuating that he uses drugs at any point shouldn't even be a conversation that should be had without evidence. That someone looks pale and looks worn out or looks like they're not looking very well on the face.
There's so many situations that could
not anybody. The other day, Jay and I were talking about someone I love so much, and we're talking about the person losing weight. And I was like, listen, if you see someone you watch, you think that the person is not feeling well, but this was a journey she chose. You know, so for me, I think the legal route is the best. The legal route is the best.
I love how they are
make
doing
an
it
example of
lately.
someone.
I like how they are doing it lately. They don't talk a lot, or they won't come and do a long video.
Go to the lawyers.
No.
If you are able to answer your questions.
Somebody should sue me.
To sue you.
I want to
almost say out of court. They didn't like it. They didn't want. She didn't want to settle out of court.
Because I mean.
You know, say out of course. When out of course settlements, I'm on social media and I'm here.
Well, let's get into. Yesterday, I told you that I was going to bring you highlights from the AMVCA, and so let me quickly do that. The 11th Africa Magic Viewer Choice Awards recently took place in Lagos, Nigeria, celebrating excellence in African film and television. The event, which honored achievement across 28 categories, saw La Sibi, The Uprising, emerge as a major winner, taking home prizes for Best Indigenous Language Film, West Africa, Best Arts Direction, and Best Makeup. Other notable winners included Freedom Way for Best Movie, Femi Adebayo for Best Lead Actor in 7 Doors, and Chioma Chukwukwa for Best Lead Actress in the same film. The night also featured Lifetime Achievement Award for Nollywood veterans Nkem Owo and Sani Mwazu, while director Kayode Kasum received the Trailblazer Award for his contribution to Africa's storytelling. And so, this is some of the red carpet moments, some of the outfits from the, look at that. That's Tony Tone. That's Tony Tone, and this is her second outfit of the night. Tony Tone.
I don't know her.
Yeah, she's a Nigerian actress. She looked amazing. And let me tell you that this year had a theme of nature. So they were their clothes were supposed to be about nature. That's why Osas, if you could go back to Osas' clothes, there was a tree. Doing to was roots. Yeah, that's Osas. Yeah. And you could see the green grass thing. Beautiful.
That they designed with a towel.
Yes, beautiful. Moving on next, yes. This is Elozonam. He looked amazing. Yeah. Man, you guys don't really you have to do much, but the right style. Bam Bam looks amazing too. Yes. Oh. Osaga, right? Saga. Yeah. Olusaga. He looks amazing. This is what I was talking about. Roots. Doyin looks amazing. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this is what I wanted to talk about.
Is this the skies? I believe this would be the skies.
Yeah.
The skies or the blue sea. It's giving that kind of vibe.
Every single person that spoke about looks about the AMVC, when they got to Nana, they just said this is a nice outfit. Then they swipe to the next person. And yesterday, when I said I was bringing you things about AMVCA, the last statement you said was, we are the ones that always want to give them something when they deserve it. Yes. I thought about it long and hard when I was at home, and I was like, why am I even coming to ridicule them when it's our fault? So let me just let it go. Because at the end of the day, this is a beautiful outfit.
Do you think they're sitting down reviewing TJs?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
Okay.
So I was like, why am I coming to do this? So I just let it go, but nevertheless, this outfit,
she looked amazing.
She looked amazing.
I always like the efforts. In her looks.
Yeah. Okay, moving away from that, let's do some international stories now. Tory Lanez has been stabbed 14 times and in prison, and that's really, really sad. And so let's get into it. Rapper Tory Lanez was hospitalized after being stabbed 14 times in a California prison. The attack occurred at the California Correctional Institute in Tehachapi, where the 32-year-old Canadian artist is serving a 10-year sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2022. Lanez suffered wounds to his back, torso, head, and face, including collapsed lung, but is now breathing on his own and in good spirit. According to an Instagram post, an investigation is underway into the stabbing, with prison officials not commenting on the attacker's motive. Prison is crazy. Prison is trying to survive every single day.
I thought this case was thrown out because they said Megan Thee Stallion's testimonies were not consistent.
No, that was after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought the inconsistencies have made him go out of...
No, he's still there serving. That was after. I remember I came to you guys and I spoke to you about it where she said that, you know what, I slept with him. And so yeah. Do you remember?
So the grounds was that she initially denied a relationship with him, which might have instigated all of these things. She did not accept from the beginning, but now she later said, oh, well, it was a casual sex.
Yeah, so if she had actually accepted that back then during trial, I'm sure it would have...
It would have affected the judgment.
Yeah, it would have tailored the judgment. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think he's done, he served, I think, 3 years now. Until, let's see.
Maybe this will...
Small, little by little. But I'm glad he's breathing on his now, and Tory Lanez is fine. So all Tory Lanez fans, I still listen to his music. It's still today. Go and listen to Tory Lanez music to give him motivation.
God help him.
Says Terry was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He's now breathing on his own despite being in pain. He's talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. I'm glad he's fine. I'm glad it wasn't a terrible news. So, yeah, I'm glad he's fine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for you today on Entertainment News segments. My name is Daphne Flashy. I'll come your way same time tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Daphne, for coming through with entertainment stories. Even though it ended on a sad note, we're so grateful. Now, in today's dynamic business environment, a robust workforce is pivotal to achieving success. This is why we have thoughtfully designed our corporate health insurance plans to empower your employees and bolster your organization's performance. Now, with Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your side throughout the entire journey. Please feel free. Our health plans are meticulously and tailored just to fit you, your individuals, and of course, for your workers as well. So please make sure to jump on this one. Our support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your side throughout the entire journey. Please feel free to reach out to us on 0501-515-124 and make sure to connect with us for further conversations. Equity Health Insurance, we say always here for you.
All right, so Telesur has got good news for you. Telesur has always got good news for you. Yeah, this one is just sendike. So sendike. All you have to do is just dial *110 hash, *110 hash. Okay, and then you just send it. It's even free.
Yeah.
When it's from Telesur Cash to another Telesur Cash. All right. So make sure you get acquainted with Telesur. Yeah, connecting energies. Yes, yeah. Most definitely. All right. So that wraps it up for Coffee Daily right here on the show. Now, quick turn. We get into Lifestyle Daily. We're talking cybersecurity. Make sure you're in tune. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
The number is a journalist because manager say make a TV so. But me na results in the bar out no ne sikani na ne niwo. Nti e ma me anko ne make asai. Eno se asike niwa make asa me dey call SS. But obema me ade ba ko bia and then I mean but e china no e be boa me. Na bisan se daddy no say edwumasua. Because Jane when I'm catching so may hairdressing and then the one mammy Kusian hairdressing and then the Messiahs and the Meniajan Kosia Juma 2016. Been to me uncle school now me down for co school. The person that should be almost no whom is so castle man co school my bassa. It's not the be a shaman crammer, Sike your cram it's me nante, a quine wa, but men auntie no ma cook before say I am bread be an Maria, named yet yapon. It's Miss Jumary 2018. Miami, madam, my training collaborate.
Sunday uhu no store ni na me nso mi store ni me ne na ya wa ha che odu na ye miti e ma me na ye home service e na okọ e na etri no obeye work and pay ti obeye work and pay na fe odi bebie container e na ye wom e wase ho ti kakra e na ye nyina ye di abeje store e wa ha sei.
Me say Ghana growth no me clients be obebo unity. Ne me nene kasa so me here workers no catch them so nkrofo we Ghana growth nti onye omo be kasa ne omo be interview me ne bibie nya omo aboa me ama ejuma no akoso. Emi de say me own madam ne enye obi ho na me chisika wo ejuma no ema me sika na me yanso a ani penni je ho de Ghana growth for de omo ye no e be boa nde ye utina ya ba no ye beti asese wo ye ejuma enya boni first na me ka say wo ye nsan ejuma wo nya obi ana say wo de wo nka youth no because nkrofo ye doctor ne lawyers ninti but since me join no omo ahye me nkra omo ma ni pe hu me nya clients here and there. Pepe say maybe me shop me kese na ma fa workers a ombe ejuma amami na me nso me nya kwan etutu kwan akoye ejuma aba
Mo amobai se mo hu se de ejuma na tie nti wo yire wo hu sua ejuma na onyame beboa.
Advice am de be ma obi biara o pese oye ejuma na osua ejuma ne na adwenye ni tutu no meka say on hye ne ho den no nkoye because obede ne ho obi ntumi be hye ne so e ma ne live life easy. A friend bless vivo me a hairstylist Ghana growth hope day.
Ghana grows. Hope Day.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Mini Ojo, from the connection man. The OPBR Meso too. Come. Mix Pacho Shabu Sukanka. Kukawi. See what kiosk number 22. That's all your brajo. Oh, that's so too. So, yes. Mommy, you show our unya so well. Hello. You show our Uko boats. See what last stop. That's all your Sister Rose. Hold up. Sister Rose, Miss no customer. So, to the mommy. Also, unya so spot. See what circle. Boys, me. Nyanya walk up. You killer. Sound. Bro, I had the info from 6 p.m. Shut. That's so too.
When we connect our energies, great things happen. Connect to a world of amazing and endless possibilities with Telecel. Telecel, connecting lifestyle, connecting passions, connecting dreams.
Telecel, connecting energies. Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible without a strong relationship. You've been with me through university. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles, you were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hi, my name is Ruki. I'm a TV host and a self-styled chef. Cooking is my ultimate passion, and it's something I would say it's my calling. Now, for those who cook a lot like me, there's one fact they'll always state. Ingredients decide how tasty your food is. And for me, the game-changing ingredients is water. Tap water at the moment is not the best option considering what's going on in the country. Also, such as water can taste weird and produce too much waste, so it's a no-no for me. My number one choice for cooking is Jibu water. Cooking with Jibu water enhances the flavor of your food. And it's not just that. Unlike other brands where you have to pour it from a heavy bottle, the 20-liter dispenser bottle comes with a tap that makes things so easy. So you see how simple it is with Jibu? Cooking with Jibu gives you big flavors and great taste without all the stress. Remember to cook with Jibu.
Jibu, transforming opportunity to thrive.
Welcome to Deluxe Experience Ghana, your trusted partner in creating unforgettable events. From breathtaking stage designs to dazzling lighting solutions, we bring your vision to life with precision and creativity. Our expert event planning and consultation services ensure every detail is taken care of so you can enjoy a stress-free experience. Capture every moment with our professional photography, videography, and live streaming services because every memory deserves to be cherished. Transform your event venues into a masterpiece with our exquisite interior lighting and permanent designs tailored to suit your style and theme. At Deluxe Experience Ghana, we don't just plan events, we create experiences. Let's make your next event extraordinary. Deluxe Experience Ghana. Think events, think Deluxe. Contact us today on 0267 83 7006 or 0545 03 8620 and 0545 03 7520. Deluxe Experience Ghana. Think events, think Deluxe.
Welcome to a brand new season of VIP Access. That's what we're talking about.
VIP Access Podcast is back in 2024 with a brand new season. It's bigger and badder. From Australia, Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya.
Season 4 of VIP Access Podcast will once again present you with a cross-section of Africa's brightest music stars and industry gurus, sharing with you tips and tricks to making it in the game. VIP Access will also highlight East Africa's rising artists in hip-hop, Afro house, classical music, Afro pop, and jazz music genres. Brace yourself for an exciting new season that will spotlight the expansion of African music while exploring the role of women in the music industry. We're watching superheroes and we sometimes we don't even see it in ourselves.
VIP Access Season 4 is proudly supported by the Australian High Commission.
good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam Uduak-Menta. Good morning. You're welcome. Today we're talking cybersecurity on Lifestyle Daily segment. So if you're just joining in for the very first time, well, it's Tuesday, and so we're talking tech, and today in tech we're talking cybersecurity. Lots of conversations we've had earlier on the show. I think last week, yes, we started the conversation on some of the threats that are being thrown into the atmosphere, fears, that Ghanaians and even, let me say, the world at large has about this cyberspace. Well, today we're going to be trying to solve some of those issues and answer some of those questions. So please stay with us. Before we get into our big conversation, let's talk about something that I think is super important to every individual living in Ghana, and that is the Equity Health Plan. Yes, they call this one Dache Apomudin. Now, your health, is your greatest asset, and planning for future medical needs is essential. The Equity Future Health Plan is a long-term health, savings, and insurance solution designed to provide financial security for your future medical expenses. Now, with flexible contribution options, this health plan ensures that you and your loved ones are secured and covered in times of need, whether it's routine checkups, specialized treatments, or emergency care. You can enjoy peace of mind knowing that your health care is secured. By subscribing to the Future Health Plan, you gain a structured health savings fund, access to top-tier medical care, financial protection against unforeseen health expenses. Start planning today for a healthier tomorrow. Contact us on 050-6607-910 or 050-9969010 to enroll today. Equity Health Insurance, we say always here for you. Now, with Jibu Water, staying refreshed has never been easier. Jibu Water provides clean, healthy water you can trust as your go-to source for drinking and cooking with the options of our innovative 20-liter bottles that come with a tap and 18.9-liter bottles. Your dispensers will have a breath of new life as our clean water, that's Jibu Water, flows through them for your consumption. Well, contact us today on 020-9845-817. That's 020-9845-817 for your product today. Or visit our website at www.jibuco.com/GH for more information about our brand. Jibu Water, a better life. Now, for our big conversation today, we are discussing cybersecurity in Ghana, the recent threat, and how we can find solutions to them, if there are solutions. Okay.
The fraud, no. Yes.
Which part of the fraud do you do?
I don't understand why birthdays and they'll start using your no. You've been a victim.
Yes, I have.
You've been a victim.
Yeah. Well, joining us for the conversation today, because of course, Jay and I are not, experts in the area. We definitely need experts to join us in this conversation to dissect these topics. Well, so this one is David Jedu. I hope I pronounced that one well, because it's not somebody's name. I'm going to lose my job. David Jedu, the DK cybersecurity analyst. Good morning.
Good morning.
Don't pronounce that name, bro.
That's right. You got it right.
I got it right.
Your job is maintained, man.
Thank you. This one I can pronounce is Alex Ntow.
Yes.
Yes.
100% right.
I'm doing great. You should be clapping for me. Good job. He's the Chief Technology Officer, EITBS Limited. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Bless yourself.
Thank you.
I'm blessed, beautiful, and very successful.
Great.
You need to add that as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to the conversation on cybersecurity, very recently, it has become a topic that, lots of people are having around the world, not just in Ghana. Very recently, I think Jay and I had the opportunity to host an event, and that was, tailored to resound that conversation on cybersecurity. So we're going to get into it. First of all, Jay, you want to start from your Momo?
No, I just want to find out why we are having the conversation. Why is it now coming up? Because it looks like it was something that was happening back in the day, but it looks like it's quite rampant now in Ghana. What is happening? Why are we having these threats, coming up frequently right now in Ghana? That'll be my very first question. Is there a crack somewhere? What is happening?
All right, thank you very much. All right, so I'm David, and so good morning to our viewers. Now, so the reason why we're having this conversation recent time is the rise in technology use, and now we have IoT devices everywhere. We have the use, if you look at Africa, Ghana to say one of the few countries in Africa that is, a lot of people are using connected devices. So now, each person has a lot of devices connecting to the internet, maybe if not 3 or 4. Your watch is connecting to the internet, your mobile phone is connected, not only 1, 2 or 3. Where now we're introducing a lot of e-works. You know, people are doing a lot of transactions online, people are doing a lot of buy and sell online, people are schooling online, people are doing a lot of businesses online, and now most youth Ghanaian entrepreneurs have a lot of business established online. And then anytime that we look at technology, there are risks associated to it. The challenge, the reason we are here speaking about this is that anytime there's a new thing coming in, we tend to look at it from only one aspect, not the security aspect. So 2000s, when IT or technology, internet started, we had an attack, that is the Sakawa thing that started, right?
Okay.
Because people were not able to understand the system very well. Fast forward, 2020, 2022, coming to 2025 here, we have a new dawn. That's the AI, the artificial intelligence that has migrated from the way AI, ML, machine learning, and the neural networks, and now we are here in the deep fake technology where scamming can be done easily on your phone. I can just stage it easily here, and that I will get a lot of people because people are using these devices and they are not cautious.
Okay.
And the reason is that we feel that when we come on the internet, it's just a free space for us to do our businesses. So the way that if I buy a car, I go for driving school. If I buy a phone, I don't look for how to use the phone. If I open social media, I don't look at how I can use the social media. So we tend to tell people that come online to work, do business, their money online. But I tell you, if you take 10 people that have come online, likely that 8 of them has been encountered with cyber scam or cyber fraud. So if you are looking at the rampant use of these devices, that is warranting us to have these issues every day. And we will keep talking about this. And it is not as if we are here to predict something doomed, but it's going to be more intensified in the recent days coming, or the recent years coming. So we need to really position ourselves as a country in an area where we can now see how best we can defend our own technology space.
But whilst on that, what are some of the prevalent threats that keep showing up, especially for business? Because I heard you mention that.
Yeah. So one of them I will talk about is a fintech fraud, financial fraud. Now, we are now embracing technology with finance.
Yes.
Bringing it to come from a fintech community. We are talking about a Momo that's under the financial scam. So we have mobile money fraud being raised up. We have a lot of fintech fraud happening today, visa scams and those things. Now, because people are using technology very recent times, we're going to look into issues like today. This morning on a sister station, I was speaking about ransomware attack that has really emerged in Ghana, where your files will be encrypted and then they will demand of money from you, normally in cryptocurrencies. We are talking about the sextortion, where now people feel that we can find lovers online, we feel that we can have family online, whereby these mistakenly we give out our nude videos, nude pictures, and we see issues like teleporting, all those trends happening on our space, because our space cannot be filtered. All nonsense happens on our space, to say. Now, so these are some of the threats we have in today. Aside that, we having devices comes like WhatsApp attacks. Because now WhatsApp is not a social media app, it's a messaging platform, hence its activities are quite different. And then these scammers are today predominantly attacking WhatsApp, and people don't really pay attention to this. So we have those WhatsApp attacks happen. We have online shopping scams. Online shopping scam where I do buy, I want to buy something, it never gets to me, I was scammed in the process, birthday fraud, all those things that happen. Not only that, we have the VIP scam. I want to talk about local attacks here in Ghana. Right. We have VIP scams where people see online things and say, okay, I'll send you through VIP. It never gets to you. Last week we were discussing about
the transport service?
Yes, VIP scam means that I am a seller. You will see my product online. I told, okay, now when you purchase, I will send it through VIP to you. So you stage a call, you speak to the driver is coming, car number given to you, the driver gets to a place, okay, the thing has come to station, send me money, let me give it to you, all those things. These are attacks that happen.
Wow.
Recently, I even having what we call the keyless car theft, whereby your car can be stolen, where if your car parks somewhere and you're using a keyless, there's the tool now these scammers have brought, whereby remotely they can synchronize between your key and your car, and then they take your car. That is there. We have all those.
I've seen it before.
We have what we call the instant loan app scams, where today scamming has become part of us, where because yes, you know what, they want to use something that easily we do. I need money, so I pick up my phone, go on app, I say, okay, download this app, easily get money, so I can get 500 cedis with just an instant. Just giving my Ghana card, it doesn't spend, it doesn't waste me anything. So I just do it, download the app, and then that they get access of my device, and then that is where the scam starts from. So these are some of the things these are some of the threats that as country we have, and the challenging aspect we have is that we don't even have a system of detection. So how do we even start talking about it? So because we are not talking widely, and we are not serious talking about this because there are not proper systems of detection. So we can't even quantify. And Cyber CSA released a report that from January to April, they had sextortion issues, and they were able to almost about 100,000 of Ghana cedis were lost in sextortion only within the 4 months. And I said even that is under data because many people didn't report. I have seen people that they are on monthly payment bill to these scammers.
Monthly payment?
Yeah, they pay them every month. Because if not, they'll release your news.
Hey,
so you've automatically subscribed
to paying somebody who hasn't done anything for you.
And whom are you going to talk to about these issues?
But I mean, again, that is why we have the cybersecurity, authority here that is supposed to handle that.
You said that as a cybersecurity authority. Let's look at predominantly their roles that they play. It's an authority. They regulate. It's a regulating agency.
Okay.
But when
they don't detect, do they? I'm taking
the time me answer hello.
Please save us now because.
Let me just put this one across. Has the rise of mobile money and online banking contributed to cyber fraud? Because he mentioned fintech being one of the spaces that is under major attack. But then the exposure to these platforms, is it contributing to
Definitely. It's definitely contributing because you have a wider attack surface. So initially you probably go to the bank, pay your money, and then you've paid actually to the banker. But now you're paying through apps, you're paying through other channels, and really sometimes you don't know who is behind the app. And Mr. Jedu just talked about situations where people would scam you through, for example, telling you, okay, we've sent stuff through VIP, you should go and pick it up. People are doing the same thing with things like jobs. They are saying, okay, pay me a fee and I'm going to give you a job or scholarship. So it's really a situation that would face for a long time. And mobile money and all these digital channels would actually exacerbate the situation. Why I say that is that, I mean, you have situations where people are actually using this technology for the first time. And as Mr. Jedu said, they might not know a lot about the technology, but they want to use it. Basically, it's like probably a child using the mobile money platform for the first time. So there are a lot of things that the child does not know. And so education in this case, so if you're a parent, then you need to actually teach your child really what the do's and the don'ts, so that you can actually avoid the situation of he being scammed. And the thing is, even even when you teach the child those tools, probably the child is about 90% safe, but there's always a 10%, right? Because these scammers, keep on changing the attack. So even if you're a professional, there's no guarantee that you cannot be scammed.
You cannot be scammed.
Yeah.
I think there was a quote that someone gave to us. It says there are three types of people in that space. There's the one who has been scammed, the one who will be scammed, and then the one who is yet to be scammed, which means everybody's going to be scammed or something like that. I think I heard something like that. I was like, oh, nobody is safe at this point.
Safe.
Let's go back to the conversation on the National Cybersecurity Authority. Their role is what exactly? And are we seeing the efficiency of that department? Are we seeing how are we seeing proactiveness, efficientness, effectiveness from that space, considering the fact that the world it's not like it's a Ghanaian problem, it's a world problem. So every country is finding ways and means to curb the situation on their level. Are we seeing any form of action from that side? Who's going to take that from you?
Oh, definitely. I think one of the things probably one can talk about is the fact that there's a legislation. So there's the Cybersecurity Act, which actually discusses how the cyberspace should be or regulates the cyberspace. There are other partnerships with international bodies to actually beef up our knowledge around cybersecurity, which they're doing. Of course, there's also the licensing bit where cybersecurity professionals are being licensed, basically. But the thing is that there would always be challenges. I mean, some of the challenges you see, for example, is funding. I mean, with the cybersecurity, or can you say the Cybersecurity Authority has enough people to do the work? Definitely no.
But what's happening with that?
With the rise, pardon me?
Wouldn't they recruit people?
They have to recruit, but somebody has to pay, right?
Yeah,
And there's always a budget that we need to work with. So that's one of the things, and I think we all agree that cybersecurity is something that's growing. Actually, the cyber fraud space, we talk about $9 billion of money in the cyber fraud space. So it's very likely everybody wants to go into, and of course this space is going to grow, right? Not only for industries but also for individuals like you and me. So the Cybersecurity Authority is really trying to regulate. They do things like awareness. For example, we have this. I think the month of October or September.
Yes, October.
Right, October is always a cybersecurity month where there's a lot of information. And the thing is, it's not only the Cybersecurity Authority which is actually doing awareness. There are a lot of institutions like IIPGH, which is the institution for ICT professionals in Ghana. You have also private companies which actually provide awareness information all around the place for people to be aware. So there's a lot which is happening. The Cybersecurity Authority also does other things in the meantime. So not only in October but also during the year. So there's a lot happening, but we as individuals and as companies need to also take responsibility. We cannot actually just leave it to the authority. It's like, you know, in your house you have a wall, you have a gate, you have probably some barbed wire or electric fencing, and you did all yourself, right? Although the police is there, right? So we need to also kind
take
of
some initiative.
Correct. We need to take some initiative in that, yeah.
Okay, so social media's introduction into our lives was supposed to make it easier to connect with people around the world. I want to ask this one. How has that contributed and made us vulnerable? Because again, there's a conversation that social media has made every single person on this earth very vulnerable to be accessed, to be taken advantage of. We're just talking about social media giving us pressure. Not only pressure does it give us, it also strengthens our lives on a different level. But tell me how people use that social media. Why are we vulnerable? Why is it that my platform makes me vulnerable to cybersecurity? Like people can actually attack me just because I have a social media platform. How do they do it?
Thank you very much. Coming on social media makes you vulnerable. There's what we call the footprinting, the passive and the active. There's what I give to the internet and there's what the internet takes from me. So basically, we give out information to the internet that makes us vulnerable. They also take things from us that makes us vulnerable. This one, I'm speaking here and my phone is there. I've not been on Facebook. But if I should speak about something constantly, I'll go to my Facebook feed and that thing is there. That means that they are listening to us. Now, not only social media, the minute that you use your phone.
Wait, Jay and I want it to be as easy as possible, guys. Jay and I have talked about it, and we have always thought that it's a mere coincidence.
No, never.
It's not. Listen, I have always thought there's no possible
Today
way.
I'm here at DK Cyber, right? Give yourself some few time. Go to your feed on TikTok. You may likely see my videos.
And it's true. It's happened more than once to me, and at some point I just got scared. So when Miss Bell came out and said that our phones are human being spirits, I said, okay, maybe it's true, because there are human spirits in these phones, right? But what's the science behind that?
Thank you very much. Just to say that there is this what we call the passive information gathering, and there is that active information gathering. I give information to the internet by myself, my date of birth, my number, when I'm creating those accounts. Now, the information that the phone takes from me that I don't know. Sometimes Google can determine this is my home. I didn't tell Google that's my home. Google can tell me that's my office place, but I didn't give Google that information. So they take that from us. Now, what happens when you're installing these apps? This morning, when you go to a platform like exodocs.com, Now, when you put the app there, like WhatsApp, when you put the WhatsApp takes almost about 82 permissions from you. 82 permissions. They are taking your contact, location, everything from you. And so that one, the fact that you have installed the app, you have given them the permission by yourself. And now with I'm a developer, when you develop, we have what we call the consent, user consent. Now, so we enstringed all that into the user consent. Okay, allow. So when you're installing the app, all that you do is allow, allow, allow. So Facebook, when you're installing everything, allow, enable. And that you have given them the opportunity to take everything from you. Now, if you go to Facebook, Facebook has what we call the off activity, right? So even whilst you're not on Facebook, Facebook still get information from you. And that has been given to you, and they have written it somewhere slowly in a small font somewhere, but you don't really pay attention to that. So they are tracking us every day. Now, the fact that even not on social media, the minute that I started using smartphone, I should know that now I'm very vulnerable because now I'm exposed to a world that is called global village, where I can, right now I can talk to everyone around the world through these devices. So now the world has become very small. Now, if the world has become very small, that means that the threat has also become very closer to us. And then now today, the attack has become more advanced and sophisticated than ever before. So the social media, the use of social media, yes, has exposed us to a lot of threats. And because the users that use these social media platforms who do not conform or do not read a lot of policies, they don't know much about what they are using. All that they know is that I'm just posting. But do you know that even when you send me a picture, I can determine your location. I can tell you the phone that took the picture. And an example, go to exif.tools. And you press the picture you sent to me there. I can give you details, information about the picture. We call them metadata. Now, so all these things come together and they take this information from us. The problem I see here is that Ghana is becoming big, and we've been, how old are we? We are very old now. Now, so looking at Ghana like this, so now we don't have anything in the tech space that we can claim ownership of it. Just imagine if Meta is shouting down, what would Ghana, what is going to be like? You see, so the problem here is that if you go to China, the information you see on your social space will not be like that. Go to US, the information you see in Ghana space will not be like that. Yeah. That means that they regulate a lot of things, they filter a lot of things. But here, no, everything flies on our distance. Makes us much vulnerable, we are much closer to the attack than ever before. So social media, yes, has allowed, we have been more vulnerable than before. And now the use of these apps makes us more vulnerable. The use of these electronic mailing systems makes us more vulnerable. The fact that you're using technology, your mobile phone makes you vulnerable. But that doesn't mean that you would stop using it. So even when I'm driving, you know, the Tree people say something, on a highway, they call it Kwantempong. Right, so the same highway that can lead me to Kumasi safely, that same highway can kill somebody. Yes. So the fact that you are using your mobile phone doesn't mean that you may not meet your untimely attack. So why would I protect myself from here to Kumasi driving safe there? I need to obey the signs on the road. Okay. When I see speed ramp, I need to slow down. Okay. When I see I don't need to do careless overtaking. Yeah. But we're on social media doing careless overtaking. We're on social media doing all sorts of things we believe we can do. I post right now, I tag myself, I'm the TGMA. Your person knows that your house, you have left there, possibly with your driver. I can go to your house to attack you. We post with our locations. So there are signs that we do. I want to purchase on Instagram. I want to purchase that. I see that they're selling phones. There are tell things I have to check. How old is this page? Have they changed their names? And all those things are there for me to check about the page. So you see, it is like the highway that has instructions, that has regulations, but ask ourselves, as the writer said, you have the National Cybersecurity at 20. Do you know, even when you post pictures about your kids unlawfully, or you show some parts, I think the clause 21 talks about it, that you can be prosecuted for doing that. The rules are there. But how do we
don't live by them?
And with the CSA issue, how many, like sometimes I look at it and I sometimes sit back and it's like, are you serious? The CSA can post and I go and check it, maybe 21 likes. But let somebody do a video about TikTok dancing, 1 million likes.
Please, you can't come and regulate our interests. We are more interested in
I get you, see.
No, that's on a lighter note.
Yeah, so the fact that you have your social media, Right. The fact, this phone, before I can come on the internet, I need to know the pros and cons, right? I need to be able to get my ISP, internet service provider, buy some data before I can connect to some server and resource to some information on the cloud, right? Now, so those are things that I need to do, right? Now, but when it comes to the social media, do you know that there are some certain things you need to do before? Have you enabled your 2FAs, your MFAs? So there are basic things that one has to be doing, and we are not doing. And that makes us more prone to these attacks.
Now, I think this would be again last week, we were surfing on the social media platforms, and I chanced on a video that was saying that, listen, there is another global crisis coming. After COVID, there is another major global crisis. This is more associated to the cyberspace. And so they called it the cyber pandemic. Yeah. And it's been purported to show up within 2025, 2030.
Okay.
And they've shown indicators that shows that it is inevitable. With this information being thrown out there to the world, as Ghana, as the Ghanaian space, are we ready if peradventure 2025 is the year that this pandemic is going to attack? Do you think that we're ready for it? And what could be the measures that we put in place as a country to protect ourselves?
Well, that's a good one. I mean, I think I would like to see their indicators, what they actually are using to based on that pandemic. I think in generally we would have pandemic, we would have a lot of crises. I think last year or last 2 years, we had the cable cut issue.
Yes.
So, and then I think we had this crowd strike things where a lot of computers went down, a lot of companies lost revenue. So we'd always have crises. I think globally it would be a bit more difficult just because of the way things are. You know, you don't just have one connection, for example, one internet connection to Europe. You have multiple connections. Or even if you had one to Europe, when you lose the Europe, you could go through America, you could go through South Africa.
Right.
So there's a bit of interconnectivity that makes it a bit more difficult to, to kind of shut down the world, if I may put it that way.
Okay.
So I believe that if something happens, part of the economy or financial economy, depending on internet or computer, could be shut down. But I don't want to believe that it's going to be a global thing, right?
Whilst you're making that point, the person speaking on it also mentioned that, or the documents that they were reading out also showed that there are certain countries that are preview to this information, so have started creating firewalls. I believe you in that space know and understand what that is. Start building firewalls around their internet space or their country, so much so that they could be the perpetrators of this crime because they understand better what you don't or what you don't prioritize. With that information, it doesn't do anything to the conversation.
Okay.
Right?
Well, that's interesting. I think the other countries are also doing the same thing because, the countries need to protect themselves somehow. So they are also putting probably even without thinking of this pandemic, right? They are putting measures in place to actually stop things like that because even without the pandemic coming, we'll still have issues like that, right? So, the countries do something, the companies do something, individuals need to do something. Everybody needs to do something to protect, to actually augment the level of protection that we have. So yes, I mean, there could be. And we have something like supply chain. The CrowdStrike thing is an example because not only Europe or America was affected, even companies in Ghana who use that product. So I can see a supply chain issue actually trickling down, but I wouldn't say it would shut down the country because not everybody would use that product, right? So I would say the companies who would probably use a product, if it's coming through a product, for example, the companies using that product would have issues, but the other companies would actually still continue to run.
All right.
That's the way I think about it.
I think we can come back to the whole fintech conversation where we're talking money.
Yeah.
So now, solutions. What do we do? Because if my money is in the bank and I'm saving and all of a sudden something trickles in and the bank is telling me that, oh, well, I've lost so and so and they've lost so and so and so and so. I'm not in a position to go and sue the bank because everybody too has lost. So if we all go and sue the bank, are we getting our monies back? How safe are we? What are the solutions that we put into place so that as far as our money is concerned, because we saw people coming out, lashing out our telcos and this and information and a whole lot. what are we to do now? What do you think we can do so we all keep safe?
All right, so answer, great. So I believe that when it comes to cyber crime protection, it's a collaborative effort. Okay. So if it's the banks or the fintech developers, they would have solutions, they would develop security measures. Okay. Now, so as a developer, I know that when security becomes so much beefed up, the usability of the application becomes difficult. So always security becomes an option for the user. I wouldn't instruct you that 2FA is enabled by default. It's an option for you to enable that. Okay. Great. Now, so when it comes to security in the fintech community, now it's a link, right, from the institutions. Now, so let's take it one after the other. With the institutions that provide these fintechs, right, so like the banks, the telcos, and there are security mechanisms that they need to put there. And there are a lot of investment that needs to go into that area. Okay. I believe that most of the times is the investment that it is not going in there. Because if you look at 10 years back, Americans spent so much in cyber crime protection. So they were recruiting and they were spending much on cyber defense and even physical defense, you know, because they saw these threats happen or coming. Now, so when it comes to Ghana here with our fintech community, they need to invest more into their firewalls protections. They need to really secure their data. As a consumer, I cannot sit here to defend or secure the bank systems for them. However, there had been regulations that each fintech community should have the principles of cybersecurity and they should be compliant by a set of regulations. Now, when it comes to that side, some of them are doing it, but we are looking at is the skills adequate to meet the current threat, the current attack. So that means that our education sector should beef up. We should be able to also kind of have a system to train our young Ghanaians or our young youth. I still stand by here, I have a problem that I have youths that want to come into cyberspace, but they say that we need to have international certification, and that we are talking about $1,000. How would a person pay for DCH? And that's the criteria. And as a country, we don't have any of that. So we have our local ones that are not accepted. So when it comes to that's under regulations, we need to make sure we get that. Now, with the institution side, need to set up good security systems. However, coming to the user side, the user, we need to pay attention to a lot of things, because if you look at current attack that I'm privileged to be aware of, most of the times comes from the user side.
Okay, we don't pay attention.
We don't pay attention to it. It comes from the user side. So you could see that there has been a social engineering attack in that process, either through smashing vision or whatever, phishing attack. The user kind of find a way himself to be part of this attack, right? So the user side has to be well educated, and I believe that they have started. But the problem is that are we paying attention to that? We are not paying attention to that. So the problem still exists. So the systems can have the best security mechanisms. If this one is, okay, mobile money, let's introduce multi-factor authentication to be able to protect the money people send. Have a fingerprint before your money can be sent. Have a face ID. How many people use smartphones? Some of them are still using YAM, and they are in the villages. So can they authenticate to this process? We can only use PIN because we are looking at a service for everyone. So when it comes to combating these things, it's a collaborative effort. The system could do this. The user has to also do their best. I told you that when it comes to security, it's an option for you to put it. I can put up a lot of security features on it and deprive myself from some functionalities because I know it pays or it's good for that. But others too wouldn't do that.
Interesting. Anything you would like to add to the solutions? Thank
you very much, Mr. Jedu, for touching on that. I think one of the things that you touched on, I would like to probably shed a bit more light on is, you know, today we talk about DevOps security. So developing applications with security in mind. So not develop and then after that think about security, but whilst you're developing, you're already embedding enough security so that the application in itself is actually safe. So that's one of the things. But then, of course, when the application is installed, you have the user side. You have also, for example, either the fintech or the banks who are operating those solutions. So things like KYC, know your customer, and so who is actually coming to pick the money? Is he authorized to pick the money? Is he the right person? And then you also have situations where you have internal users who might actually connive with people to actually, so to say, grab somebody's funds. So these are also situations that we need to look at. So we need to find out, this KYC thing is one of the biggest things, actually really identifying whether this person is actually authorized to touch that money. It's one of the biggest challenges that we're looking at. And of course, I mean, with things like, with the advent of deep fake and things like that, it's going to become even more difficult. And the fact that today you want to authenticate remotely, so someone wants to call into the bank and says, okay, this is my face and give me my money, basically.
Yeah.
So you need to actually even be able to make sure that that person is actually the right person. So there's a bit of complexity. But there's also a lot of technology that can do that, but it's expensive. And we know budget is always a problem. Of course, budget and, of course, skill, right? So these two things need to kind of be available for us to be able to
invest.
I think these conversations need to be furthered, and, of course, we need to keep hammering on the topic of, we also play our part. We also are, liable to some of the things that we see going wrong in this space. And so we all have to work together. I remember what happened to my WhatsApp. It turns out that I gave information. It's not it turns out, I actually did. But I didn't do it intentionally. I thought that it was, it was a person. It was someone I thought it was. It was who I thought it was. So again, let's all be careful. Just not. In fact, once the telcos come out with, do not do this, do not do that, just don't do it. If you're not sure, ask. Let's be a bit more proactive in protecting ourselves. Right. The authorities can only do so much. People who are teaching, like the gentleman here, can do so much, but we play a role as well. How do we connect with you if we want you to come and, teach us, to take us through? Some organizations are watching this morning, they would say that, listen, I want you to come and train my people on cybersecurity. How do we connect with you? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Jedu.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm from Cyber One Defense Communication. We're located in Abelempe, Accra, Ghana. So just adjacent the Central Mosque, Cyber One Defense, that's where we are. We do both cybersecurity services, training and awareness and everything. We do custom solutions. We believe in that. We need to have our custom solutions to be able to detect the threat and protect ourselves. Because the enterprise solutions are expensive. Look for the local custom tools, and let's believe in that. The number to get is 0552 373603. Cyber One Defense 0552 373603. And the handles are Cyber One Defense on all platforms, and DK Cyber also on TikTok.
I see what is happening on TikTok. It's fun. Don't worry, go and check that one out. I encourage you to go on TikTok. Please, how do we connect with you?
Right. So, my name is Alex Ntow, and as Miriam just said, I work with EITBS, which stands for Enterprise IT Business Solutions. I can be found on LinkedIn, Alex Ntow. I think I'm the only person, the only Alex Ntow on LinkedIn. To be found. I do a lot of posting about technology, how to keep your data safe, because I'm very passionate about that, because I believe that when a company's data is gone, that's the end of it. In fact, when it comes to SMEs, about 50% to 70% of the SMEs who are attacked by ransomware do not get back into business. So data is, I'm very passionate about data. And so we actually sit down to look at how we can make you safe. We look at what you have today and what you need to have to be safe. And there's not even any 100% security. But we want to bring you as close as possible.
Wonderful.
So we are based in around ATTC area, Kokomlemle, and basically you can find us on LinkedIn, as I mentioned, or you can go to EITBS and also find us there.
Awesome.
My number is 055-660-9350. I'm passionate about what I do. We look at all kinds of solutions to really make sure that your data is safe, and even if it's encrypted, you have a copy of the data, so you can actually go back to it and use it.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. I think, as we always say, no conversation is completely exhausted. We're only trying to do our best on this platform, but we can always come back with a part 2, and that's what I'm going to recommend. But we as a host of this show, constantly will encourage you to do better with the little information we have. We know that we are all at risk, and so we can always do better. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We're moving straight to the plug right after this.
world of fashion, where creativity meets innovation and beauty goes hand in hand with style. On Fashion Wednesday, we delve into the journeys of influential voices in the fashion and beauty industries here in Ghana. From emerging designers to seasoned professionals, we explore their stories, their crafts, and vision for fashion's future. Get the inside scoop on the latest trends, expert styling tips, and beauty hacks to elevate your look. Join me every week as we celebrate the art, the passion, and the people behind the scenes who make fashion more than what we just wear. This is Fashion Wednesday, where fashion comes to life. Catch Fashion Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on MX24 TV.
The legend. K-N-I-I-L-A-N-T-E. It's a decision. That love me.
Amazing. On the show, I am John Jermaine.
Drama, betrayal, faith, forbidden love. What would you do when life writes a chapter you didn't ask for? Every broken pen has a story to tell. Every story has a lesson to learn. But the question is, how do you fix it? The Broken Pen Show is back. Real stories, raw truths, and maybe, just maybe, the answers you've been looking for. Hi, ladies. Hi. Your story isn't over. Let's fix it together with a cold glass of Nax cocktail. The Broken Pen Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on MX24 TV. My name is Yavita and I am your host. Cheers.
Waiting for this interview my entire life. So today, people can call my mother and tell her that I've arrived in life because yes, this is absolutely amazing. This is Coco from Yaw Siki. But do you still go by the name Yaw Siki?
Yes, I do.
You stay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
For now.
For now,
yes. So I can relate to most of the youth by that name.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's absolutely. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm well by grace.
No, you look amazing.
We thank God.
You look amazing.
We thank God.
The last we heard of you, you had gone on hibernation a little bit,
yes,
and then you came back.
Yes.
We heard that you had some health challenges and some financial stress, or Jesus was stressing you out. So which one is it?
Yeah. So I had a near fatal car accident. I broke one of my neck bones, and the doctors wanted to do a surgery. With special metal wards and screws, if not, I was paralyzed at 37 Military Hospital. And my doctor told me point blank that I should start tuning my mind, anything could happen. And deep within me, I knew I didn't feel so good going into the theater. And that is when I surrendered all to Jesus Christ, because I needed a miracle. I needed something beyond surgery and all that. And so I looked onto the Lord, and he gave me a miracle. Yes, I got touched in a church room, fell under the anointing of the Lord. The following day I went for a checkup. Doctor said, this is complex, let's stop the operation anymore.
Lying.
Yes. Actually, and so it's been 10 years now. I think 11 years. Yeah.
11 years now.
I got healed 2014.
My goodness.
Yes. 37 military hospital. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't go for the surgery?
You didn't have to do the surgery anymore.
No, I didn't go for it. If there was a surgery, there would be a mark at the back of my neck, because they had to open from the back of my neck, so they will have access to the third bone on my neck, they call it the third vertebra, or whatever it is. Yeah, to work on it. Yeah.
Yaw Siki, when you found God, a lot of people were excited. I can count how many men of God were excited to have seen a young boy who was doing secular music, and then all of a sudden says, I found Jesus, I'm going to do things of God, I'm done with this life. And some people reached out to you. One of it that I noticed, and I've always wanted to ask you this question, so pardon me if it's live on television, but I just need answers. One of the people that was notable for reaching out to some of these people, out to you was Sonny Badu. And when he reached out to you, there was a decline. Why did you do that?
It wasn't time. Yes, because I had learned to pray and wait on the Lord before I take any move in my life. The day that the accident happened, it was a decision I took, a journey. I decided to go on that journey. Meanwhile, the Lord was prompting me not to go. I had prompting from my mother. I had prompting in my spirit when I got to the toll booth at Tema. But I declined and went, and the next thing was I found myself at the hospital with a broken neck. And so I had learned to wait on the Lord. So for a decision, when my senior brother, Minister Sonny, came and approached, it was a decision that wasn't just a simple one. It was going to put me on a certain path. And so I had to be sure if the Lord wanted me there, and the Spirit of God said I should wait. That's all.
It didn't sit well with a lot of people.
Yes,
people called you arrogant and all sort of. But me as a Jesus baby, I am with you when you say that you're waiting for approval. And I'm pretty sure Minister Sonny, because he's the man of God himself, and he understands that you cannot do things just anyhow.
Exactly.
After that phase of yours, you went on hibernation. What have you been doing all these years?
Evangelism. The Spirit of God has been leading me to preach in Trotro, in the communities, in the areas. I ministered in Tema for like 6 years, and then he brought me to Accra, minister in Oyare Farm right here in Adenta area. So I've been preaching all around, and so I've just been preaching, sharing the gospel of Christ. And then last year, November, allowed me to now go all out in the music. So I started releasing some songs. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How is that journey preaching around? People can tell who you are. What's the reaction?
So most of the people see me and they're like, it's as if I know you somewhere.
Yeah.
You look familiar.
Yes.
You look familiar. So people know the song by image. It's of the youth hard fans that know my image.
Yes.
And when they see me, they recognize me. But most of the people in the church or on the streets, they look at me, it's as if they know me somewhere. It's as if but they can't make it out. And then when I introduce myself, this is who I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So that's how it's been.
Was it hard to leave that life and then follow God completely? Like me, because there are secular artists that believe in God.
True.
They do all the Christian things. They just play music that is true. So leaving all of that part of your life and then completely. So was it an easy decision to make?
No, the situation I was in as at that time, I needed the Lord. I had no choice to surrender. But because before my accident, I became so empty, and in my emptiness, I had the leadings to serve the Lord, to surrender all to Him. I had struggled, I saw it, worked hard, sacrificed of time and strength to get to break through into the Ghanaian music industry, and I was now about to make it. And I was having the leading to let go and fall. That was difficult. But when the accident happened and I needed a healing, You know, so
God has a way of getting you to
exactly.
do it.
So that is how God got all of my attention. Now, after getting all of my attention, healing me and giving me a direction to follow and minister, I had to deny myself of all those things that were giving me money, like the royalties from the Pedodo and all those. I had to cut it off, and that was also a difficult task, but I love the Lord so much to let go because He had done so much for me, and so I had to let go, you know. And going through it, that rough road, that place of self-denial, you know, it's not easy because there's no money, there is no fame or popularity. Those pleasures you used to have, that lifestyle is not there anymore, you know. And so you go just thing, you know, but it's just you and the Lord trusting in Him completely. And so it's difficult, you know, it's difficult, but His grace keeps us, and He finds ways and means to cushion us, to keep us, to comfort us and strengthen us until we are where He wants us to be. Yeah.
Jay, I've handed over your brother to you.
You see, for me, if anybody comes back to me and tells me there's no God, I might just slap the person. Do you know why?
Like that.
No. I might slap the person in a sense of where Yaw is coming from. I've seen that face. I've seen him on that side, and I'm seeing him on this side again. You get it? So for me, it's like a different picture. I can sit with him right now and ask him what faith is. And if he tells me, I'll believe it. Because I've seen this side and I'm seeing this side. You get me? What I want to ask him right now is, how is married life like?
Married life?
You got married?
Yes.
You see your
I got married 2019. So I think this is our 6th year. Yeah, this will be our
6th year.
Yes. So marriage is good, but it's work.
Yeah.
You know, just like any other institution, you have to work to keep it going. For if you want to enjoy it, if you want to have peace in it, enjoy it, and for it to be fruitful as how God has purposed it to be, or how you desire for it to be, you have to work. And so marriage is good.
Can you define the work? What work?
Work as in
somebody will say, oh, is like duties. The man has to go fetch the money, the woman has to stay at home. You know,
like two imperfect people.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. My wife is not perfect. I have my own weaknesses. My wife has hers. I was raised in a different home. My wife also. How we do things in our home was different. How my wife's family did things in theirs.
Yeah.
So when we come together, there are differences. Even though we love one another, we have children, we are raising, there are differences. And so to be ready to put those ones enduring some things until there is probably change or growth, it will not work. And if I stop praying, so these are some of the works. So these works, it is continuous. If you're married to continue being well, if healthy is the right word to go, and good and prosperous, you have to continue working. That is praying together, giving, being patient, continue loving, regardless what I did yesterday, what she did yesterday. We have to continue loving. Marriage is like between us and Jesus. Christ said, "Yeah, yesterday because of what you did yesterday, I've called you to minister. I'm tired of you." It will come to an end. It's just yes. So Bible says we should love our wives like how Christ. I have to continue loving my wife, and my wife also has to continue submitting regardless. You know, whether there is money or not, whether there is, you know, that way we work. And
this study, and I honestly I don't care what anybody wants to say. I'm learning. And every time I'm learning from, especially this one, I'm always learning from it. But every time I sit with young married couples or men and women, or men or women, I keep learning these things. And so thank you for sharing yourself with us. But as part of your growth, you move from, and I'm going to stay back there, you move from a certain space to another. And obviously, there are two different environments. Even though we can agree that some of these people that you were on the other side with are Christians. Did you lose friends? Someone said I should ask you, especially Sarkodie.
No, for some Obedi is very spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, even back then, he was more spiritual. He even always remembered me to pray. You know, I remember the last time we were on a program together was his program at Kumasi, and in his hotel room, you could hear he and the family, the sister and the family in their room praying. They would tongues. They are praying hard. That is Obedi for you. So he's spirit. Yeah. So there are people who are, so people like Obedi, I'm still in connection, I'm still in contact with him. People like Kwesi Darlington, and that's Dr. Crime, Steve J, you know, yes. Well, I'm still, just that we don't, because how we used to work together before, because the place probably they would go or they would be, the studio sessions they would be in and all, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't also be in the atmosphere where I would be. So because of that, there isn't much physical. So exactly, but WhatsApp through Twitter and all.
I love that.
Oof. Well, our help doesn't come from man. Trust me. You when the Lord takes you on His path to fulfill divine purpose, you need. He will give you the people you need. Exactly. And so He will connect you to the right people. He will connect you to the right people. Because without having mind and vision and target, we cannot work together. Exactly.
Awesome. Now let's come back to the new Yaw Siki, who has maintained his old name, who's doing ministry and is now releasing. You said now you have the release to do music again.
Yes, please.
But this time, obviously, it's going to be gospel music.
Yes, it is.
We're excited about it. I was listening to the song, the beginning of the song, and I'm a very passive listener. Once it doesn't catch my attention like this, I probably would just be there. Okay. But while I was doing that passive listening, because I have to come and do interview, I heard you rap again. I'm like, oh my God, now that. Now that caught my attention. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, we missed this one. We missed you rapping. But you haven't thrown the rap away at all.
No, I haven't. It was on hold. And as much as the Lord took me deeper spiritually, He wanted me to learn a lot, understand a lot, have a lot of wisdom and His Spirit, His grace, His glory, His oil, so I'll be able to sit among, speak well, and stand well. You will benefit from me. And so the rap was like put aside, but yet it kept coming. It's like a spirit. The rap, the poetry, you know, it coming. And I record sometimes on my phone, I write down somewhere. So when it was time, this song like this, I had recorded it like 2 years ago on my phone. So when it was time, I knew the Spirit, prompts me in my spirit the song to bring out. So I prayed.
With regards to the songs you put out, where we know very well that this is Siki on this one, would you term it as urban gospel? Because I mean that's the new crop of music that I mean I believe the Lord is even using to be able to capture the youth, because we are getting into that, the hip hop, the whatnot, and we've known you for that side already. So would you term yours as you blending in with the urban gospel, or yours is a different type?
Well, if urban gospel is rap and all that, then that's where they will definitely But I'm not looking at departments and systems. That's not my focus. My focus is that I have a gift and have a potential, and it has a purpose. This time or this phase of Yaw Siki now, whereby I'm using the giftings of rap and poetry to gather the people of God, it's for a purpose. The agenda has not been fulfilled. It's God's being agenda. It's a process.
I like that. It's a process.
Yes.
Someone says we should ask you whether you still listen to your old songs.
No, I don't. At
all.
I know.
Have you chanced?
Yeah, got some quiet money with your song.
No, but have you chanced upon it maybe on radio or something and it's been played? How did you react to it?
The last time in the community where I stay now, I went to get a drug from a drugstore, and whilst getting into the car, there was a seamstress shop just by the roadside with some guys, youth gathered there, and I overheard them playing the international tuned the volume up, turn the volume up, yes, for me to hear. So I heard the whole pedodo loudly.
Right, they knew you were around.
Yeah. I heard the whole pedodo loudly playing. So when I heard, I said, hey. So, and I realized they started talking. Oh, no, so I just sat in the car and I,
They won't allow you to move on.
Yeah. So, but then I think a bit. I heard something. I started and I left, Yeah. But initially, like 8 years ago, when I heard people play the open like that, I felt bad. Oh. Yeah, I felt like they are being led astray, or they're on the wrong path, and that they shouldn't be playing it. But
like
now,
more like your fault. That's how you felt.
I felt a bit guilty also. But now, I am okay because I see it as an opportunity to even get to them, to testify to them, for them to know where God has brought me. Yeah. So we thank God for it.
What are the new plans apart from the fact that the 30th of May will definitely have you at Career Success? I'm a product of Prophet Michael Divine Lasisi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're rooting for him. I mean, everybody is coming. He's coming live, man, and we can't just wait for Yaw Siki. I mean, he came when we were at Domi, BHL.
Yes.
And now we've moved.
Yes. Okay.
So we're excited about it. But we know from there other places. When it comes to your songs,
okay.
What else are we to expect now?
Now I'm working on an album.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. The grace of God, all things will work together for good. And at the end of the year, there will be an album, hopefully. And so I'm working. I'm in the studio working, gathering songs, working on songs. And so now it's recording, mixing songs, releasing singles. Towards the album.
Okay. Are we going to see any collaborations with gospel artists?
Yeah, I have a song like well, I'll be back. We'll talk. I'll be back so that we'll talk. We go towards the album. Yes, so I'll be back. You have to have me back so that we talk on the album and look into it. Yes. But now I'm working, so I can't put names out there at now. Yes. But then I have a song now in the plan. I'm working with another. Yes. So, but then if there has to be more, there will be. As the Lord, so yeah.
Okay, so again, we've asked about gospel collaborations. Are you going to use the calling on your life now as a man of God to feature some of your brothers out there to bring them to Christ?
Oh, I don't think featuring, unless God's going to use it. If the Spirit wants, He will lead me to do it. Okay. So He will use that for transformation, because he will then know that the heart is ready to go through that process, and it will submit. And so He will lead me there. Fine, I will. Yes. I will. If the Spirit of God leads me, I will instantly do it. But if it's not from the Spirit of God, I will have to wait.
Yes. So we're not going to see any collaboration with any secular artists for now.
I can't tell.
You can't tell.
I can't
for
tell.
now, in your mind, plans no. But if God leads you, then you're going to...
Okay, my mind as of now is like, if God says tomorrow, move to this one with all our...
Wonderful.
I live to do His will.
Listen, this has been a great conversation. I enjoyed this. I said you could call my mother. Call my mother that's arrived in life. I interviewed Yaw Siki. Well, thank you so much. I think you're thoroughly amazing. You're warm. I think Jesus is happy to have you in His kingdom. And for all Jesus babies out here, this is a brother. I think we should all support his new project, and we should make sure that this one catches fire as much as every other project he did in the past did, right?
Yes.
Or more.
Amen. This one, I know that surely it's a project that will edify. The Lord will use to edify, gather His people and edify them. And it is life better than before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, and I believe you're a part of it.
Of course. Yes. I mean, anything for Christ, I'm in.
Yes, you're
anything for Christ. I'm a Jesus baby.
Yes, you're a minister of Christ. And so please do join.
You guys hear the prophet.
Yes,
you're not in the spirit.
Yes. So,
anyway, how do we get this, the one you've written so far, how do we get them?
It's on AudioMac for now. Okay. Put it on all DSP platforms. It didn't work, but for now it's on AudioMac. You can freely download it. Yes, it's on AudioMac. When you go there are other songs like Oreba and Love. You can download them. Audio Mark for now. YouTube too, when you go, you see the video there.
Wonderful, guys. And YouTube is Yaw Siki, right?
Yes, please.
Yaw Siki on YouTube. Just let's go stream, support, do what we can do to make these projects, a fire. But thank you so much once again. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Like you said, you'll be back when the album is ready.
Yes.
And for us to delve deeper into the album and give.
Do you have a name yet?
Of the album?
Oh, the Holy Spirit hasn't brought.
I don't have a name. Only I've decided not to say it on air
for now.
I just want to get to a certain level on the preparation before I start during the name.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. If someone, young artist is watching right now and wants to connect with you, on your social media platforms, is it still Yaw Siki on social media platforms?
Yes, on X is at Yaw Siki GH, Facebook Yaw Siki, TikTok at Yaw Siki GH, only on Instagram that is Brother Okine.
Okay.
That's Brother Okine. Yeah, so if you want to connect, you can message me, DM me, tweet, mention me, I'll reply.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is the Okine O-K-I-N-E?
Okay.
We'll talk after.
I don't want your family members. When I tell you your family members, you don't believe I have.
You have. You're a minister.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Now to you, I know you've enjoyed this conversation thoroughly, and I did myself. This has been a platform for me to experience wonderful people, and today I'm more than excited. Thank you for being a part of the show. My name is Miriam Uduak Mensah. We'll see you again tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
My name is Kojo Dasabre. What a wonderful episode we've had today. And we do know that we're going to continue this to the rest of the week. Please get acquainted with us. Off camera is MX24GH across all platforms. We'll see you when we see you. Same time tomorrow. God bless. Enjoy the rest of our programs.